Hi, this is Daniela Wolf with Bestie Life, the podcast, and this is your community to support you through the little and not so little events that make up your day-to-day life. From the I've got this moments to the I just can't moments. We are here to empower all women to find and develop the skills they need to find peace, balance, and the bliss in their busy. Through solo episodes as well as interviews with amazing women who share their journey and their story and how it works for you. I hope you find the inspirations to make you laugh, think, as well as maybe rethink what you thought you knew, and connect as we realize that we are all living similar ups and downs and don't have to do it alone. So excited for you to hear this episode, and thanks so much for joining me today. Hi, this is Daniela with Bestie Life, the podcast. And today I am so excited for you to get to know Steph Jenco. She and I have kind of been in the same circles for about the last year or so, I would say now. She is a health and wellness coach and holistic nutritionist, as well as the owner of Wellness in the Village in Alden, New York. Steph looks at personal wellness as a series of actively pursued goals that are within our control. And so through coaching experience, she helps clients learn how to nourish their bodies with whole plant foods while maintaining a positive relationship with fun or convenience foods. She also incorporates enjoyable movement, self-care, and mental health support into daily routines in ways that spark joy. So thank you so much, Steph, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to finally sit down and chat with you here. I think we've been talking about it for a while.
I know. And you've been traveling and I've been traveling and definitely just trying to coordinate it all. So I'm glad we're getting this opportunity to not only come and chat today, but I know we have some things going on. But before we dive into all of that, can you share a little bit about your journey and your story?
Sure, I'd be glad to. Thanks. So I guess I've always been a self-proclaimed trier. I've always just been dabbling my entire life. So I dabbled in different career choices. I dabbled in theater. I dabbled in more than dabbled in teaching. And I taught for 12 years. I really explored different ways to feel good, to have different hobbies, to work on my health. I was always kind of like trying things. And I finally hit a point where I realized that I was a little bit scattered. I was trying an awful lot of different things. And that really what felt best for me was when I could lock into simple routines and simple daily habits that I could kind of like fall back on. So then when I wanted to try things, I had kind of a foundation there for me. So like I said, I taught for about 12 years in elementary education. And then I was really called to start taking more of what I'd learned about taking care of myself and about building good routines and share that with other women, and then especially with other teachers. So I made a shift around 2020, like a lot of people did, and went off on my own. I opened up a wellness center in Alden where I was working as a certified health coach and holistic nutritionist, sharing space with some other health and wellness providers in the Western New York area. So we're home here in Alden to a massage therapist, a mental health practitioner, a chiropractor, and a yoga studio as well. And just really wanted to start bringing those worlds together. So where I'm at now is wanting to take what I've learned about taking care of yourself and about learning to feel good in your own skin and in your own routines, and merging that with my experience in education and working with teachers to help to bring them more kind of support in their day-to-day lives as they work to support their students.
I love that. And I know that's a lot of what we connected on is just the simplicity of some of it. You know, I think we speak a lot of the same language when it comes to keeping things simple, keeping things easy, you know, giving ourselves grace, a lot of those kind of things, as well as I know you work with kids on a lot of these same skills, because again, if we don't teach that to them intentionally, you know, there's no place they're going to learn it, right? Can you share a little bit about how you're merging all of those things?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to. You're absolutely right. I've been saying for years now, it doesn't have to be complicated to be effective. And I think that's really the like center of it all, is realizing that we don't have to try a 17-step program. We don't have to follow a really intensive workout plan. We don't have to have a perfect diet or meal plan in order for us to see success in our health goals. And then I can transfer that to the same thing with kids. I've experienced so much in the classroom related to not just teachers needing these personal routines, but students needing them, and the way that their emotions become so easily dysregulated, the way that they're so stimulated by the world around them, by technology, by social media, by the pressure of growing up and being a kid, in addition to all of their academics. Like, kids have as much going on as we do. And bringing it back to the simplicity for both teachers and students and people in general is just the idea that sometimes less is more. Sometimes what we need to do is not keep trying to add in things to do, but really to let go. Maybe it's not that we need to create a really complicated system for ourselves, but that we need to focus in on the couple things that are really important and really making a difference for us, so we can lean into those and learn to breathe a little bit, build in a little bit of space. I think we're hustling. People, adults and kids, are hustling so much that there's not always room to just to breathe and to connect and to listen to our bodies, and then to be able to respond the way we need to.
Right. No, I agree with all of that 120%. You know, so when somebody comes to work with you, are there some kind of typical mistakes you see people making, or is there a certain place you would start somebody on their journey into integrating these things?
Sure. Usually when a new client comes in and we're starting to build that relationship, I mostly want to start with hearing their story. I want to hear what brought them to where they are, because there are often a lot of similarities in people feeling like they've tried a lot of things in the past and now they're just confused. I have a lot of clients who come in saying, you know, I tried Beachbody and I tried Weight Watchers and I tried Noom and I tried all these things. Now I don't understand what I'm supposed to do, right? I've confused myself. And so we do a lot of unlearning so that we're able to then listen to our bodies a little bit better. We do a lot of data collection, and sometimes people shy away from things like journaling or logging, but I just find them to be such valuable tools. We look at them like we're collecting some data. So a new client will keep some food journals for me, let me know kind of what they've been eating. I don't care if you ate a half a cup or a third of a cup, but I want to know kind of the foods we're putting into our bodies, if we're sleeping, when we're moving, how all these things are making us feel. And then we're able to sit and look together and say, okay, what habits and ideas from the past do we have to let go of in order to make some new space? What are the habits we already have in place that we like or that are working for us that we can lean into? And then where do we need to make some tweaks and adjustments so that we're serving our body and serving our mind the best that we can?
Yeah, no, I love that. It's just very simple, very genuine. Just curiously, what are some of your own then personal practices that you kind of have on a regular day-to-day basis?
I will live and die on the hill that everyone needs a morning routine. So that is often a spot that I find people lacking in or needing to start in. It's a spot that I really struggled with for a long time. I was not a morning person. I was a roll and go type of girl, especially as a new teacher. I was really fortunate in my first like long-term teaching position that I only lived about 5 minutes from my school. And I would pride myself on the fact that by the time I walked in the door, I'd only been awake for like 15 minutes. Like everything was laid out the night before. I was ready. I could sleep till the last second, roll and go. And I'm like putting on mascara and drinking the coffee in the bathroom while I'm like headed to pick up the kids. Right. And I didn't have enough time for like me. I didn't even understand what I needed, let alone have the time for it. So building in a morning routine was crucial for me being able to have some stillness before the day got busy, for me to have time to reflect before my head was clear, for me to build in some gentle movement or some reading or journaling, drinking water, those types of things, just so I knew that I was setting my day up for success. And that was a life-changing moment for me. And it's, again, so simple, not rocket science here, but building in a pocket of time for myself, starting with maybe 5 or 10 minutes to 30 minutes to now this like luscious hour morning that I take for myself, is really like my foundation for the day. And then it becomes easier to know what my priorities are for the day, to know where I'm going to put movement into the day. Movement daily is so important to me in the way that I feel physically and mentally, to make sure that I've got time and thought into what I'll be eating and consuming that day, just to kind of maybe work on some mantras or affirmations to put my head in the right place. But that morning is really, really crucial.
Yeah. And I love my morning routine as well, but I love how I don't know if you even realize you kind of snuck in how beneficial a good nighttime routine is as well. Because even though you didn't have your morning routine at the time, the fact that you can roll and goal in 15 minutes because you had everything laid out the night before, you pre-planned your night to make your morning easier, and to then back that up to actually a morning routine, like a night routine that pre-plans, a morning routine that's kind of self-nourishes. Boom. That's like the master right there.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. A good morning routine does not happen unless you've had a good bedtime routine, you've gotten enough sleep. You went to bed early. You understand what it is you're going to do when you wake up. If I'm trying to talk to somebody who doesn't have any sort of morning routine, that's usually the first thing we do is say, when you wake up, what's the first thing you want to be doing? And they might say, I want to read, I want to stretch, I want to take a shower, whatever that is. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to want to do. So what do you have to do the night before to be your catalyst? So you are prepared to do that thing. If people say, I want to work out in the morning, but you don't have clothes for movement or sneakers laid out and you don't know what you're going to do, you're not working out in the morning. You're getting up and being grumpy that you didn't, right? So you've got to backtrack a lot. You're right.
Yeah. And like you said, the simpler you make it, it's easy to not have to look for your clothes or figure out what routine you're doing. When you plan that ahead of time, it's easier. Even if you still are grumpy while you're doing it, once you start doing it, you never regret doing it.
No, never. You never regret doing any of these things. I've never talked to somebody who was like, oh, I'm so mad I worked out, or I'm so disappointed that I meal prepped. Like nobody feels bad about it afterward.
Right. And even, when it's simple, it's easier to take with you. Like I said, you're both just traveling, you've been going to multiple places, you just got married, were you still able to obviously maintain some of these things then on the go? Because I think that's where people get tripped up, is as soon as they lose one piece of that routine, it all goes to hell.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you're right. The simpler it is, the easier it is to maintain. So there are little things that I enjoy, like journaling or reading in the morning, that I could bring along with me when I was traveling. I had a little notebook and I had a book with me. And even if it wasn't the same amount of time or exactly the same order or anything like that, I still had that kind of like anchor moment for me in my morning. Hydration is another really easy one. Like when in doubt, I'm going to drink an extra glass of water. I'm going to use that time I'm drinking this water bottle to say, like, I'm hydrating my body, I'm breathing, I'm thinking about what's coming next. And it's just those little, I guess I call them anchor moments, those little moments throughout the day where we can say, this is a piece that is important to me. So I'm going to use it to like recenter myself so that I can keep going.
Yeah, I think having those options and that flexibility, that even if it doesn't look identical to what you're doing on the norm, still having pieces of it, still maintain those same benefits, still help keep you grounded in your routines and who you are.
Yeah. And it's the simplicity, like you're saying, I know a lot of people will talk about like miracle mornings or the successful CEO mornings and all these things that are very timed and very lengthy. So it's like from 5 to 5:15, I do this. From 5:15 to 5:30, I read. From 5:30 to 5:45, I work out. They meditate. They have these very stringent timetables. And then it does feel like, well, I slept an extra 5 minutes. Now I don't know what to do. Right.
Yeah.
Or I'm traveling and I'm not sure, or I'm sick, or the kids are sick, or whatever. And it doesn't feel like we can maintain it. And I prefer to think of it, like you said, more like a bank of options, more like, these are things I know I like to do in the morning, or these are things I know throughout the day make me feel good. Journaling, gratitude, walking, water, etc. That's like my card deck of options. So I have my like self-care card deck. These are all the things that make me feel good. And when I've got a pocket of 5 minutes, or when I need an anchor moment or to regroup, I just get to choose a card from my deck. The order doesn't matter. Length of time doesn't matter. But right now I've got options, and I'm going to play my journaling card for 5 minutes, or I'm going to play my water card for 5 minutes. And the time is irrelevant and the order is irrelevant. What matters is that you've taken that moment.
Yeah. And I was even thinking as you're talking, the fact that, I don't know about you, but I have things that I love to do that I can actually only do when I'm on vacation. Like I love to just sit and have coffee with my husband in the morning, but on our normal day to day, that's not happening. He's on call sometimes by 6:30. I've got my own separate routine, but when we're on vacation, that's actually something we get to do. And so I love the fact that I can change up my routine and have that flexibility to now pull in other things that are like my bonus cards.
Yeah, bonus cards. I love that. And yeah, it's like it's embracing where you are and what you have, right? Like we can always just do the best we can with what we have where we are. And so it's cool to think I'm on vacation or I'm on summer break or whatever it is, and my routine is different. Well, maybe I get to see that as an opportunity to do some different things instead
Yeah.
of I don't get to do what usually makes me feel good. I have a bonus opportunity to do something else that I'm going to
Yeah.
enjoy.
Even if it's
Yeah.
just a weekend, you get to go to the farmer's
Mhm.
market that by October is going to pack up and be gone. So you enjoy it now.
Yes, I have not been to enough farmers markets this year. That's a really great reminder.
Yeah, we got a
So,
couple more weeks left here, so we'll
yeah.
definitely put that on the list.
Yes, it's an August item for sure.
As another area that I always love to talk about with my guests is gratitude, because I think that's like an underutilized form of self-care. And so what would you say are kind of the top 2 to 3 things you're the most grateful for?
I agree. I spend some time in gratitude every morning. I have a very specific journaling practice that I like to do because it takes some of the like thought or pressure out of having to journal. So I always kind of write the same
Yeah.
things in the morning.
Can you share some of that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So
Uh,
I always start with gratitude. I set up a page in my notebook, and it says at the top, grateful, and it has like 3 to 5 little bullet points I put in.
mhm.
And so the first thing that I do is have myself list some things I'm grateful for that are specific and usually from the past 24 hours. Because I could say I'm grateful for my family every single day. And I'm tremendously grateful for my family and for their love and for their support and for the kind of people that they are in our relationships, but that's not specific to where I am right now. And I could be having a miserable day, and that doesn't make me less grateful for my family, but it's just not like in the forefront of my mind. It doesn't feel like real in that moment sometimes. So I try to list 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for right then. And it might be how delicious my cup of coffee tastes. It might be the puppy that's snuggling me while I write this. It might be that I had a really like meaningful conversation with my mom yesterday. It could be that my partner and I cooked a really great dinner together last night, and I'm still like thinking
Mhm.
about it. Or that I get to have coffee with a friend later, or I'm really enjoying the book I'm reading. And these are, again, they're not enormous things, but I think that calling out the very small things that we can be grateful for throughout each different day brings more like gratitude into the ordinary, and we're not
Yep.
always looking then for things to be big and magical in order to be grateful for them. So I start with the gratitude. Then I do a section I call dreams, and I have a list of 10 statements. And I've borrowed this practice a little bit from some things reading, like Rachel Hollis does this, but there are some other like manifestation type practices related to this. But I have a list of 10 statements that I write out that are the same. I write the same 10 statements every day, and I write them all as if they've already happened,
Mhm.
even if they haven't. So I write down number one, I wake up without an alarm and I don't hustle. That's not always true every day. Sometimes I do
Right.
have to set an alarm. Sometimes I do have things going on, but I know that in my core, my dream life is I wake up without an alarm and I don't hustle. I travel 4 times a year. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but that's on the list. I am a loving wife, and I just got married last month, but I've been writing the statement, I am a loving wife, for about 2 years down every single day. And so I write these lists of 10 statements because for me, that calls into mind the kind of person that I want to be, the kind of person that I would like to show up as, and the kind of life that I would like to be living. And then I do like a focus box at the bottom. And sometimes that's a mantra for the day, or to-do list for the day, or a top couple
Mhm.
priorities. But it's just after I think about what I'm grateful for, and after I visualize the life that I'd like to live and the person I'd like to show up as, what am I going to focus on today that's going to bring me a little bit closer to those things?
No, I love that because it allows the fluidity of whatever life is without having those expectations. And that definitely makes
Mm-hmm,
that gratitude accessible
mm-hmm,
anytime, any place, all of those
mm-hmm.
kind of things.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I think I say I journal all the time or journal every morning, and people are like, I'm not a writer, or I feel weird pulling out a notebook. And having a kind of like a formula for getting started has taken a lot of that pressure off for me and allowed me to really sink into my gratitude and sink into my intentions without feeling like I have to free form write. I have like a system
Yeah.
for it. And I could make it take 2 minutes, or I could make it take 20 minutes.
Yeah. And you can even speak. I use my notes on my Siri all the time. I was out walking the dog this morning and I thought of something and I was like, hey, Siri, take a note. And I've done that for, blog posts and things like that. When I have a thought, it's so much easier for me to personally to speak it. And so to use technology in that way to help you, it doesn't always have to be a pen and a piece of paper.
Absolutely. And I think if you said like I was out doing something and I thought of it, lots of times when we sit and we say like, I'm going to write now, or I'm going to be grateful now, nothing comes up, right? We're like freeze. It's like if somebody asks you what your favorite song is and you suddenly can't think of any song that was ever written. It can happen a lot, but I love to go for walks and just go for a walk and let some ideas come and voice note them into the phone is amazing. Maybe you're just cleaning the house, you're doing random tasks and an idea comes to you. It's so powerful to capture that, to put those words down or those ideas down somewhere is so powerful.
Absolutely. Or when you're trying to fall asleep, when you think of things, they say definitely write it down, because if not, that's going to be what keeps you up at night. But getting it out of your head is going to help relax you. So all great tips. So I know we've got some awesome activities and opportunities coming up soon. Do you want to share a little bit more about them?
Yes, I would love to. So starting next week, actually on Tuesday, the 4 Tuesday mornings in August, I'm going to be hosting at my wellness center in Wellness in the Village in Alden, be hosting a program for students, for little ones entering grades first through third, and we're calling them mindful mornings. So it's just an opportunity for kids to come in for an hour and learn some of these skills that we've been talking about. We'll incorporate stories and songs and some gentle movement, some crafts and games, activities, like our traditional hour-long circle time for that age group, but focused around mindfulness, identifying and naming emotions, expressing emotions, ways to bring calmness to our physical bodies, to build strength in our bodies, all those good things. So I'm very excited, very, very excited to have this program. I did it a couple years ago with some younger students, like preschool age, which was so fun. But seeing the need that school age children have to develop this skill set is making me want to inch the age up a little bit. So really excited for that. And you're going to be joining me for some of those Tuesday mornings as well, right?
Yep. All but the 13th.
So I'm happy to have you. Danielle is going to come in and be available for parents who have dropped their kids off for this program to chat, to talk about their own mindfulness, their own routines, their own stress that they're feeling, and ways that they can kind of navigate that as a parent on the parent end as well. So we're really happy to do that. And then on Thursday, August 15th, we're just a couple weeks out. We, Daniela and I, as well as Mindy Yoder, who is a dietitian, nutritionist, the three of us are going to be hosting a panel discussion specifically for educators looking to create some more back to school success through their own self-care practices. So we will be sharing things that we've been talking about here, like daily routines, healthy habits, avoiding stress, avoiding burnout, fueling your body for a successful day, all that good stuff, at Wellness in the Village, the evening of the 15th. And I cannot wait. Like I said at the beginning of this, really starting to merge the worlds of wellness with the worlds of education is like I'm so passionate about right now. So I'm really looking forward to this event.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it as well. I'm excited to put the links in the show notes for all of these things. How can and people can work with Steph? It doesn't always have to be in person, correct? Do you do virtual?
Yep, I do virtual coaching. So wellness and nutrition coaching available through bewellwithsteph.com. I do both 30 and 60-minute coaching sessions, as well as some more transformative packages for people looking to really deep dive on habit building. And I also have an online course, Eat Well with Steph, that is available through that website as well. So bewellwithsteph.com for all things coaching. And then I am doing some professional development now, working with some local school districts on self-care for teachers and also managing emotions in classrooms. So that information can be found at bewelltolearn.com.
Awesome. And I will definitely have those links live in the show notes. So thank you so much, Steph. I can't wait to see you next week as well. But thank you so much for everything you gave my listeners today.
This was a great talk. Thank you so much for chatting. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please let me know any questions or comments that you have. Also, if you can please leave an Apple 5-star review so that this episode can be shared with more women. There's 2 quotes that I love. Alone we may be strong, but together we are stronger, as well as when women support each other, incredible things happen. So let's be stronger and incredible together, as well as maybe just have some fun along the way. Thanks so much and talk to you soon. Bye.